The creator economy gives you so many opportunities to monetize your creativity, actually do something you love, create a life on your own terms. Does it take a lot of hard work? Of course. Is it easy? Of course not. But the opportunities are there. And today I'm bringing on a very special guest to talk to you about something I feel like nobody talks about, something I feel like is the secret weapon of the creator economy, and I think the future of e-commerce. And so hold on to your hats, y'all, because it's another episode of Nez Nation Live, a very special episode. Hang out, get your questions ready. I'm bringing on a special guest. Make sure you come on back. Hello, welcome everybody. It's another episode of Nez Nation Live. Come on in. Make sure you share this out. This show, as always, is brought to you by BeyondTheBoxAcademy.com, and we are so excited about, at least I am. I know you are. Let me know in the chat if you're excited. Give me a hashtag yeah if you're excited. You know, we had another guest who was going to come on and talk to us about today's topic, something I know you guys are really eager to learn more about. I know I'm very eager, somebody who's a live stream aficionado. I've been live streaming for over 5 years. I love live streaming. And this guest of ours had to, for health reasons, this guest of ours couldn't make it. And so I couldn't be more, relieved, but really happy and excited to have this special guest come on. And big shout out to El Jefe Reviews. Jeff, if you're here, a big shout out to you for connecting Nez Nation to this amazing guest who I'm going to bring on in just a second because he's got a very limited time and I don't want to waste any time. I want to jump right into it. But make sure you share this out, y'all, because sharing is caring. Welcome to the house. Good to see you. Just a real quick roll call. Jonathan's in the house. Lewis is in the house. Imad, my man Imad, how are you? Anthony, good to see you. Jurgen, Russian prototype. Luis, or Nano is in the house. Good to see you guys. Get your questions ready because we've got an awesome guest. The title of this broadcast, do you know anything about Amazon Live Video? Have you heard about Amazon Live Video? What is Amazon Live Video? The thumbnail, is this the secret weapon of the creator economy? I don't hear anybody really talking about this, and I truly believe this is an amazing thing. I mean, it's Amazon, y'all, and we're all content creators. We're all trying to leverage this thing called the creator economy. I'm living proof that you can do this in so many beautiful ways. And so without further ado, guys, I want to bring on our very special guest. His name is Craig, and I hope I'm saying this right, Craig. I'll have you correct me when you come on. Craig Polson. He has an amazing YouTube channel called Craig's Tech Talk. Over 14 million views, over 106,000 subscribers, and I'm just so super excited to bring him on. Make sure you get your questions ready and hit that like button, guys. If you haven't hit that like button, let's get this out to as many people as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Craig Polson. Craig, how in the world are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I feel amazing now after that intro. That was like, wow, who is this guy? I want to.
I say that to everybody at the same time all the time. I'm like, dude, don't you know who I am, for crying out loud?
Yeah, come on.
Everybody, Craig, don't you think everybody should know who Professor Nez is?
They should at this point. Come
They
on.
should.
So,
Sorry about that. Thank you for indulging me.
You know what, though? You're a man of the elite. That's more important.
Yes. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. And by the way, did I pronounce your last name right, Craig?
Yeah, it's Polson.
Polson.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, hey,
Yeah.
Craig, I'm so excited to have you here, brother. I just want to say really quickly, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know this was kind of a last second thing, and I know you have a very, very limited time. You've got to go do your own thing. But I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Welcome to Nez Nation.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Just to give you a little bit of background, I know we talked a little bit offline. Our audience, our channel is all about helping you grow your business, helping you grow your impact and income online. And so we talk a lot about the creator economy. I'm living proof coming from the public sector, being a business professor, and then going and starting my own online businesses and thriving without having 1 million subscribers, without having, trillions of views. I do okay, but I have a very, very thriving, targeted community. And so just to give you a little background on that, our audience is very eager. And I know you do so much. You're a great content creator. I watched a lot of your videos last night. You're doing phenomenal. And just before we get into it, tell our audience just a little bit more. I know I kind of barely touched the surface, but give our audience a little background on who you are and how you got into this, and then we'll jump right into it.
Well, day job used to be, because I'm pretty much full-time creator now, is lighting designer in the entertainment industry. That's why I focus on lighting in my background, because it's what I do for the day job. But the channels focus on smart home devices, Amazon devices, and I'm an Apple guy, so I got to go in there. So play with the Apple stuff. But that's the gist of it, the short answer.
I love it, and I'm an Apple guy too. I kind of not really by choice. I'm sure you've heard this a million times. Once you get in, it's almost like you can't get out. And so my wife, when she bought my first MacBook back in 2011 or 2010 years ago, I was a happy PC guy before that, but then everything, you know how Apple gets you and how Apple ensnares you. Well, let's just jump right into it, Craig. Thank you so much. And by the way, guys, I have a link to Craig's channel, which you guys have to go check out, youtube.com/Craig's Tech Talk. I was just binge watching his videos recently. And he's an amazing, if you want to know anything about, especially when it comes to Apple, but really just a lot of great innovative tech, go check out his channel. So Craig, Amazon Live, let's jump right into it because I know our time is limited here. What is Amazon Live Video? Why are you using it? And why do you think more people should use it? And then we'll get into some best practices and tips. And guys, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm monitoring the chat. This is going to be huge. Craig, take it away. Why Amazon Live? What is it? And why is that important?
Well, at the end of 2019, Amazon had approached me and some other creators about a beta program to start testing out live streaming. Because initially the live streaming portion was a way for businesses to be able to share their products and messages with people that are on Amazon. Well, if you want to kind of grow a platform using non-content creators to produce content, such as talking about products and stuff, can get dry because most people aren't supposed to be or don't want to be on camera. So I think to change it up, they brought in people who are content creators. And the ultimate vision, the way that I understand, they're not going to lay out the whole plans, but I think there's an understanding that people want to know more about the products they buy. And this world is just merging between video and sales and commerce. So I think they really are entering that, and we're going to see other, Walmart apparently is getting ready to do it. It's expanding all over the place. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. Really? There's going to be a Walmart Live now?
I don't know. No, I've heard whispers around from different people that there's other.
You heard it here first, folks. No, I'm just kidding.
You heard it here. No, but the idea, though, is somehow it's that commerce content is going to match. And what I see the potential of is, as someone who does live streams, is we do unboxings already. Okay, you have an unboxing. Someone has to produce that or whatever. But what happens if you go right from that Samsung event to the first time anybody sees it exclusively is an unboxing live from a content creator, because Amazon has an exclusive deal. I think it takes that commerce to the next level, that wanting to know about products in real time and being able to talk. And you can ask all the big YouTubers in a live stream and they may not be available. So I think it opens up that unique space. So
I love that. Yeah, I love that. And I couldn't agree more about how we're living in in an era now where building trust, right, with your consumers, with your audience, your customers, your clients, building trust is the utmost importance. And nothing really builds trust more then, getting a taste of who you are. And video is an amazing way of three-dimensionalizing yourself. I say this all the time on the channel. And, instead of just having links or just having products on your website, if I'm understanding you correctly, Craig, what you're saying is that Amazon Live gives you a chance to really demonstrate, correct? It gives you a great way to say, okay, here's the product, let me showcase that, but also this is what I think is, pros and cons, good, bad. This is maybe if you have a specific utility for it, it gives you a real chance to go more in depth. Is that correct, Craig?
I think that's just like one side of it. Yes, that is right on point. That could be the value added is the extra depth and the being able to go back and forth between people so that they can ask those questions. You're like, oh yeah, it does feel a little cheap right there. Good question. But I think beyond that, though, these platforms are looking at you got to have a healthy mix of that personality and other content. So Amazon's a great place for me to explore and just kind of have a good time. For example, if you don't mind me sharing this, I started my Lego stream was started because another channel on YouTube, the gentleman has a tech and a Lego stream, and he invited me on to one of his live streams. So I thought, I haven't played with Legos in a while. Why don't I do a live stream about Legos? I could justify spending money on this. So my wife for my birthday buys me a bunch of Legos. So I'm like, okay, you know what? It's kind of fun to do some of these. So that became the topic of a live stream. So I gave myself permission on Sundays to play for an hour and a half. And then also that grows a side of the business on top of that and an audience in a different way. And, commissions and different things, affiliate stuff tied to that. So you could explore interest on Amazon that you could really never do, I think, on YouTube. And find an audience at the same time.
Right. And by the way, I mean, you have the beautiful, backing of this, company that basically, I always say Amazon owns the world practically. How does, and guys, if you have very specific questions, we've got Craig for about another 10 minutes or so, and I really, really want to get detailed. How's the discovery, Craig? How does it work? Because we know on YouTube, there's the recommendation system. We understand our analytics. We can look at different traffic sources. TikTok has the For You page. Instagram has shopping now, and they're starting to, according to Adam Mosseri, Instagram is perhaps looking to adopt a more recommendation system. How does discovery, like for example, if I am a brand new creator, but I, love live streaming, it's probably the most comfortable kind of content creation I like to deploy. And, I have a lot of affiliates depending on what my niche is. How does one get that audience? Is it just about being consistent and creating content and targeting your videos, or is there a discovery system? What have you found, just if you don't mind?
I find it, if you go to Amazon.com and then click on the live streams tab, you'll see there that it's just based on basic categories. Who's live streaming now, the creators you follow, and some of the featured creators, recommended content. But when someone goes live, it's just put out there. If you're part of that live streaming that's happening, if you go to the top of the page on the live stream, it's just showing you what's live. And I think at this point, it is not so saturated that it has to be divvied up. So I think the discovery is huge, but you also have to understand the platform. And people are there not to like, I'm ready to hang out for the day, for an hour with my coffee necessarily. They're there for shopping. So communicating with an audience is interesting, because when you live stream on Amazon, when you click on a live stream, that live stream is muted. But you could see a banner down below of 40 products that people can buy. And what I find in looking at the analytics is people are curious what's in that carousel. So they may click on a video, but the next step is you have to actually click again to unmute. And that unmute rate is small. So at this point, it's a lot of people are there browsing. They're browsing. You're like, hey, it's a tech deal. Okay, what's the 40 tech deals that you're offering up? So some of that is knowing what are you trying to achieve in here? Where are you focusing it? Kind of keeping it broad. I think it throws out a lot of the analytic side that you're used to seeing in algorithmic side of these content platforms. That it's like there's nothing. I feel like a lot of the strategy and picking topics and all that stuff, you could just get yourself in the weeds and really no one's going to watch because you tried to kind of too niche down. And
Yeah.
it's not the platform. It's not searchable in that way.
Right.
And it's not, so it's like, I think you have to think broader, but you also have to think, what is the objective here? Why are people here in the first place? They're here to make purchases. So if you want to just pontificate about things and think about it, and you're like, okay, you're kind of eating up bandwidth and generating nothing. So you have to find a balance in between of things you believe in, and there's also, you're on a shopping site. So
I love that. I love that. And that kind of got into my next question, which was kind of best tips and practices. And I love how you said that it's not a platform where, you're there to promote yourself. You're there to maybe talk about your expertise and why that's important to your audience. People are there. I love how you said respect the experience on the platform. And, to me, that's really, really important. Something I advise clients, I help people with their YouTube channel and their content creation. And I say, in that first 30 seconds, it's really, really important that you deliver on the promise of your thumbnail and title. And it sounds to me what you're saying, and I know you got to run really quickly. And by the way, Jim and Chris, I know you're in the chat. Jim and Chris, if you're interested, if you have time and you'd like to jump on here too, I will send a link to you, and I'd love for you guys to jump on here too. You're more than welcome to talk about, because I know you guys are doing great on Amazon Live as well. But I love how you said they're there to shop. They're there to find products. So we're getting some questions. How do you get started, and what are the best practices and tips? And this is kind of what I was going to ask you. Is it just about, and I know you got to run soon, Craig, is it just about kind of, look, I need to have very specific products. I need to know my objective and my purpose, and I need to deliver the goods to my audience? Or is there something more granular or tactical that you're like, you know what, Nez, this works with me. This works for my brand. This is what I would do if I was getting started. If you were getting started today, what would you do?
For me, I think it's going too focused on certain things. I just don't think it's the place for that. I know that it's so, everything you're taught in every other place in social media is just focused down. And I'm like, some of it is the exposure, and you're in an open platform. I think you could be a little broader, but like I name my streams Tech Deals. And I share deals that I find. And those deals for me are inspired by going to the Today's Deal section. And we might find one product that kind of inspires a carousel. Or I'll have a theme like smart home, getting started with a smart home, or travel tech, productivity tech, something that could kind of be the umbrella theme of the 40 products down below, or most of those products. Because in a carousel, I'll leave about 50% of those items just stay in the carousel all the time, because they're tech products I believe in. So I don't have to talk about everything that's there. I have to provide some content that'd be interesting for you. Let's talk about smart bulbs for 45 minutes if that's a great conversation. So you're not trapped, but I think you have to make it appealing, a broader appeal. So
I love that. No, that totally makes sense. I really, really love that. And I know you, Craig, you have to get going, and this has been really informative. I got
another 5 minutes or so.
Okay, great. Okay, yeah, great. Fantastic. Yeah. I really appreciate that. Yeah. And I want to be very respectful of your time. For Amazon Live Video, are you using can you go live directly on the platform? Are you using a kind of software like, full disclosure, I'm an affiliate partner of StreamYard's. Are you using a third party? Do you think it's better to go live directly? Can you? And what would you say about sort of, once you have your objective, once you have your purpose, once you understand that I'm here to really showcase products, what would you say are best practices when you're actually live, and how to utilize that?
Okay, so first thing, software. I like OBS. One of the things I'm not a fan of in StreamYard is not being able to resize browsers, and I hate seeing the web address across the top and all the different tabs of products. So I'm an OBS guy, but you can use StreamYard. You do have to do it at 720p. Amazon only takes 720p feeds, and that's very particular on their bit rate. So I've done it with StreamYard. I do it with OBS regularly just because I like like some of the customization, but you can live stream directly from your iOS, from your iPhone, no Android app. Now,
oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
no Android app. All products need entered in through here. You just have your external CD key so you can use other software. Now, I did see someone ask earlier, getting started, you need to join the affiliate program.
Okay.
Get started with Amazon. And once you're part of that affiliate program, then you can do live streaming. Now, best practices is most likely, I think, nobody knows who you are that's watching. You're going to have a handful of supporters. Introduce yourself, the concept, the idea. There's 40 products down below. There's a carousel of things you get to pick and put down there. So they're things you believe in, things you use, whatever. Share that. Ask yourself for, hey, click a follow, you know when to come back and get us. Jump into the products. They want to see products. They also want to, it's a weird thing that I say experiment, because I've seen a creator I respect that was seasoning a wok, and you can, and there's room for that. And but I think initially kind of remember people are there shopping, and a lot of them aren't listening to you. The unmute rate is very, very low. I mean, I could see 10,000 views and only 500 people unmuted. So you get a lot of eyeballs, but those eyeballs are there shopping.
Right.
So, and the biggest best practice I can offer is get your live streaming done on some other platform first. Get your legs underneath you.
Ooh, I like that.
It's easy to go commission and I can earn money here. And you're like, the problem is it's a platform that's growing. People are shopping, they're browsing, they're moving along. And you can kind of fumble through that. And most people aren't going to notice. But the people that really matter, that grow this platform, they're the ones watching you because they want to see their baby grow. So practice somewhere else first so that you feel comfortable. And
I love the way you said that.
Yep.
I love the way you said that, Craig. Something I completely co-sign what you just said, because going live, it's more than just chasing the views, chasing the money, chasing the accolades. You got to know how to deliver. You got to know how to communicate. And you got to know the nuances of a live stream, which, and by the way, never mind all of those skills that are necessary, but also the internal kind of, doubter. I call them the eternal doubter. You got to fight the nerves too. And fight is not really the right word I use, but there's all sorts of blockades and obstacles, right? And so I love how you said, and this is why I know El Jefe referred you. I love how you said, practice, get your chops. Don't be so money oriented. If you chase the money and if you just chase the new shiny object, you're probably not going to be as successful as you otherwise could be. I really love the way you said that, Craig. That's awesome.
And one thing I'd like to point out, though, too, is that, one, it's scary. It's scary. First thing to think about is nobody's watching you in the beginning. And if you're on your YouTube channel, really nobody's watching your live stream. And as your skill grows, you grow with it. And those are your people there. Your people come back. So let that, push that aside. And then over on Amazon, don't be afraid. You don't have 10,000 people watching you. You have 10,000 watching, but you only have about 30 listening. So there's not as much pressure as you think. And then also the benefit of these platforms is be authentic. And the thing I thought about before this stream is be your authentic self, but with skill. Like practice, cut out your ums, your ands, fine tune yourself, but don't lose you as the person, because there's enough polished news reporters in these platforms. And my success, I think, comes from just going, I suck. Words are hard today. And just being okay, going, you know what? I'm flawed. And being good with it. And then you'll have more success, I think.
I love the way you said that, Craig. We got to have you come on again.
Yeah, anytime.
Because I think it would be a very big benefit to our Nez Nation audience. Everybody, give me a hashtag yeah if you want to see Craig back here on the show. Give me a hashtag yes in the chat right now. And make sure you smash that like button. And again, there's his channel right there, youtube.com/Craig's Tech Talk. Yeah, Craig, I think you would, with your background, with your expertise and what you're doing and your authenticity, you would be a super, super, super guest here on Nez Nation Live. So we're going to talk offline. I'm going to see if I can get you on the show, and we'll do like a dedicated interview show. I just want to say, on behalf of our entire Nez Nation audience, Thank you so much, Craig, for being here. Thank you. Is there any last, kind of takeaways, last second thoughts that you have? And feel free to mention anything that, you got going on right now, any projects that you would love people to get interested in. The floor is yours, sir.
There's nothing I thought I needed. Come check out over on Livestream. Thank you for being here. Oh, the one thing I wanted to say was, since best practices, look at the camera. I want to read the chat, and I just want to say thank you guys in the chat for the very nice comments, since I can only glance over because best practices, which I'm over best practices. Have a great day.
I love it.
Everybody.
I love it.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you and thank you, Craig. I really, really appreciate you, brother, and have a wonderful, wonderful show. And hopefully we'll get you on the show again. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big warm thank you to Craig Polson. Craig, have a wonderful day. Thank you again. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it.
Thank you. You guys all have a great day too.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Thank you, Craig. All right, bye-bye. All right, guys, that was Craig Polson. Wow, some really, really great tips. We've got another awesome guest. Jim, I'm going to bring you on in just a second. Actually, this is probably a long time coming. I should have had Jim and Chris on a long time ago, so this is perfect timing. I just want to give a couple of shout-outs to people who are here. Jurgen in the house, good to see you. Stella is in the house. Sam Sadegi in the house. Lewis, the Mod Squad, the best mods in the business, the Nez Nation Mod Squad. Influential Finance, good to see you. Joe Lauder in the house, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Lighthouse, great to see you. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. Make sure you smash that smash button. Make sure you share this out, because sharing is caring. We're talking about, if you're just joining us, we're talking about what I think may be the secret weapon to the creator economy, something I don't see a ton of people talking about. One thing that I want to say before I bring Jim on that I thought was so interesting, and by the way, guys, we go live every Sunday. It's a live Q&A. There is a pinned questionnaire form in the chat where you can get your questions answered. Anything about how to advance your career, grow your business, grow your brand, monetize in the creator economy. That's what we're all about here at Nez Nation Live, helping you grow your impact and your income online. You notice how impact comes first. Craig said it's relatively unsaturated. That was a huge takeaway that I had, and I can't wait to see what Jim has to say about this. But the fact that you can literally create your own QVC for your products and services, the fact that you can use the unbelievable power and engine of Amazon as an umbrella, the fact that, really, the only barrier to entry is to enter the affiliates program, which is not difficult to do. This is something we should all be thinking about, guys. I think this could be the future of e-commerce, if it's not already the future of e-commerce. And so we're going to have Jim come on and talk a lot more about that. I'm so excited to have him here. But listen to what Craig said. Craig has been doing this for a long time. He has an amazing channel, over 14 million views, 106,000 subscribers, and he says it's relatively unsaturated over there. Remember when TikTok was unsaturated? Remember when Facebook Live 5-6 years ago was unsaturated? Remember when YouTube was unsaturated? Holy mackerel, that's been 20 years. But this is what I always talk about on this channel, which is early adoption. And this is why I'm bringing you this topic. I, for one, am really, really excited about this. And I can't wait to talk more about it. So if you have questions, there is a questionnaire form in the chat. Make sure you leave that in there. And let me see if I can refresh real fast. Okay, hold on one quick second. We're going to bring Jim on in just a second. But yeah, make sure that you leave your question in that questionnaire form. We're talking Amazon Live video. How many people in the chat right now, how many of you have heard about Amazon Live, are using Amazon Live? Let me know in the chat right now. We're going to bring in our next guest, who's so nice enough to be here with us. I'm gonna bring him up right now. But let me know in the chat. If you have heard of Amazon Live and whether or not you're implementing it. I would love to hear from you. And don't forget, guys, we have that questionnaire form in the chat. Okay, let's bring up Awesome. Is Chris coming too, Jim? I wonder if Chris is coming too. But let's bring up right now, and I hope I'm saying this right. Is it Jim Fuse? Jim, am I saying that right?
You got it right. Fuse like a fuse box.
Fuse like a fuse box. All right, perfect. Good to see you, Jim. How are you, man?
Good to see you. I know. I know. I need to have you on our shows as well. So I'm glad we connected this way because you do.
I would absolutely love that. And you know what? It's been, you know how it is, Jim. Like in our industry, you know, I don't know. I'm sure I'm married. I'm a father. I run businesses. You're probably around the same. And I've been seeing you, and we've been kind of like, it's almost like one of those things where we bump into each other in the hallway and we're like, hey, yeah, let's do lunch.
Right. Exactly.
And we have the right intentions, but it's just like life. It's just crazy. Anyway, it's been a long time coming, and that's why I sent you a direct message, because I was like, okay, Jim and Chris are here. Let's get them up here. But Jim, I'm so excited, and I would be honored to be a presence on your show as well. Jim, I know you've been doing amazing things in live streaming. You've been an amazing content creator. You definitely have a strong authority in this niche. Before we get into the questions, and guys, if you have questions for Jim, make sure you leave them in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button. Jim, tell our audience, our Nez Nation audience, welcome, by the way. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
But tell our Nez Nation audience a little bit about you and what you're all about. Then we'll get into the questioning.
Yeah, so probably a little different than what maybe some people expect. I'm a retired Marine Lieutenant Colonel. I've been retired for almost 12 years, and so my tagline has become, I do marketing the Marine Corps way. I take all the leadership experience I had in the Marine Corps and have applied it into digital marketing and working with people. And so almost 3 years ago, I really got into live streaming, do a show with my friend Tim Sohn, Tim and Jim show. We're almost on our 3-year anniversary next month. But then last year, along with doing the live streaming, started doing a little bit of podcasting, had a podcast with Christian Karasevich. I had to back out of that. He's still doing that. But Chris Stone and I got approved for Amazon Live. Actually, the 29th is a year ago.
Cool.
And so I said, hey, Chris, because we'd been wanting to collaborate, it's like, let's do a show together. So Dealcasters Live was born, and it's been an amazing run. It just keeps getting better every day. And to your point, it's just something that people really need to take a look at if they're a creator. I mean, and we'll talk about some of those ideas that we have. In fact, last week we completed our 81st show.
Wow.
And
congratulations, Jim.
And Wednesday night, we're actually going to have a special show with Ross Brand, and we're going to be talking about the launch of his new book. In fact,
nice. Yeah, Ross and I go way back. Yeah.
So we'd like you to maybe come on then too.
Yeah.
We're giving everybody a chance to kind of give Ross a shout out and everything.
Oh
else.
yeah. I'm actually in the book too, which I'm very honored. Ross just sent me an email about it just a couple days ago. Love my man RB. Ross Brand and I go, we actually hosted a podcast 3-4 years ago. And love Ross Brand. Oh yeah, I'm so proud of him with his new book. When is that show? Let everybody know.
It's going to start Wednesday night at 6 p.m. and it'll also...
Is that Eastern time or
Eastern
Pacific?
Time.
Eastern time. So 3 p.m. Pacific time.
Yes.
So I'm on the West Coast. Where are you at, Jim?
I'm in Atlanta. So
okay, cool. Okay, cool. And by the way, before we get into it, I can't. That sounds awesome. And Ross is a great dear friend of all of us. Mm-hmm. Before we get into it, I just want to first say thank you, a profound thank you for your service. I have a deep respect for our military, especially here in North America, in the United States. I don't know if you know this about me, Jim, but before I started all these online businesses, I worked as a professor at several universities. I still teach part-time, but very, very part-time. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the universities I taught at, I had amazing military students. All you guys watching and listening, love you guys. Probably my favorite students were my military students. Just awesome. Their earnestness, their mentality, their respect, and just their profound warmth that you maybe wouldn't expect. Intelligent, very intelligent. Some of my best students, honestly. And so I have a profound respect, and thank you so much, Jim, for your service. I really, really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. So let's get into it. Amazon Live. So you heard a lot about what Craig was saying. Do you want to, before we kind of get into questions, do you want to kind of touch on some of the things that he talked about, or what would you like to say about Amazon Live Video to kind of get things cooking? Talk to us, Jim. I'm really excited about this.
I definitely want to go back to a point Craig made near the end, and I think you agree as well. Is what's interesting about Amazon Live or the Amazon Influencer Program is you can get approved, of course, now it's based on your YouTube subscribers or Instagram followers or Facebook business. They used to have Twitter. That's how I originally got approved. But they're not looking at, like LinkedIn was, like, have you ever live streamed? So you really are seeing quite a variety of streaming as far as what's on the platform. Now, the crazy thing is there's maybe, and this is a complete guess, 1,000 influencers, but there's nowhere near that many live streaming. So it goes back to, it's the early days. This is huge in Asia. In Asia, they're all over this. They call them key opinion leaders as opposed to influencers. And so I think it is.
Oh, I like that better.
Right? It's
I never really liked the word influencer. At least I feel like influencer has been probably abused, right?
It definitely has. But then the other piece of it is that, like Craig brought up, I've heard, rumors like the Walmarts and some of these others may do that. So if you're getting in early on this and kind of going through your reps, as Chris and I like to say, you're going to get that confidence. But it's helped that I was already a live streamer, so it was very easy. Where I think we're a little bit different than what some people are doing is, and we've like Jeff C's doing this, Scott Ayers as well, is they're taking their live show and they're adding Amazon as a destination. So they're providing content on the platform. Like we do interviews of, authors and, live streamers, podcasters, because part of the goal with Dealcasters is we want to teach people how to become better or get started at live streaming, podcasting. We talk a lot about, tech stuff, or if it's a book author, right? Your book's on Amazon. Why wouldn't you want to talk about it on Amazon where people can buy it? And so it really kind of lends to that show perspective. But then sometimes we do kind of a QVC thing where we'll talk about microphones, just me and Chris. We kind of change it up just to have fun with it. Because to Craig's point, a lot of people are watching you on mute. And so we'll, kind of like every once in a while post, unmute to, hear great deals and things of that nature.
That's the most fascinating thing, Jim, is the fact that, like, people are, what Craig said was so interesting, and I know you're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell about people who want to start a YouTube channel is it's about understanding the platform experience, the culture there, right?
Right.
That mute thing was really interesting to me.
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely the challenge. And you start to see, like, if you got unmute, you're able to chat with the people that are watching you live within the Amazon app, or what I usually do is I open another window so I can do it on my screen, so I can kind of keep, focus on the camera like Craig was talking about, because otherwise you're playing with your iPhone or your iPad, and that just makes it a little bit more difficult. But like you, we're also, big StreamYard fans, and so we've found it easy to use StreamYard for our show. I'm blessed in that Chris is a graphics expert, so we really make it pretty it up as much as we can. And then sometimes we will use eCam as a virtual cam within StreamYard to allow us to do some other things. But we will multi-stream, but it's really more to get people over to Amazon.
Right.
And especially if it's an interview, why not put it on LinkedIn, right?
Of course. Why not put it anywhere? I mean, for crying out loud. I've said this so many times, Jim, and I have a very specific story about a radio hero of mine who asked me to be on his radio program, somebody I used to listen to when I was just a kind of 30-year-old adjunct professor driving home late at night at some crappy, position that I had to take to support my family. If I didn't go live on Facebook and LinkedIn and all these places, if I just went live on YouTube, he would have never saw my program on Facebook. And it's all about that one right view. That one right view brought a childhood dream to life. I was able to be on this radio show of somebody I listened to, tons of times. So it was like a dream come true. The fact that he said, "I loved your show," blew my mind. So to your point, it just takes that one right view. Now, here's what I want to ask you, Jim, because it sounds to me that you're using Amazon Live as not just a place to sell products, but you're also creating content there. Do you mind? And by the way, guys, if you have questions, this is it. This is the guy to ask. Craig is awesome as well, but Jim, I know, Jim, you've been leveraging this, you and Chris, for a long time. How are you utilizing Amazon in a different way than just selling, products or affiliates, etc.? I want to talk about products. I don't want to talk about affiliates, but you mentioned something so interesting, and I know our mutual friend Dale uses Amazon Live as well. But I want to. Do you mind touching on that a little bit about how you're maybe building your brand as opposed to just selling?
Right. In fact, it's interesting. Chris and I kind of joked that the show came first and it's turned into a brand. Like we didn't have like deal casters everywhere, and so we created the show. And then as we started gaining momentum, as we got, and here's the other thing. I mean, think about it, Professor Nez. How many people do you know? When we'll ask this question a lot, like we had Neil Schaefer on our show 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I know Neil. That's fantastic.
The Age of Influence. It's like, Neil, have you ever been on an Amazon Live show? No. We've had, Dave Jackson, Chris Kremitzos, all these people that are big in these different industries. And I think it was because it wasn't a Facebook Live show. It's like, you're going to be live on Amazon. You're going to have thousands of viewers. I mean, and of course they don't all stick around, but you'll see, we'll get 4,000 people watch a 1 hour show. And, I don't usually have that happen on Facebook Live. I don't know. Maybe you do.
No, I don't.
but
I definitely do not.
But it's just that whole thing is, right? You're getting
unless I boost it. Facebook, isn't it funny how much Facebook asks you to boost everything? I'm like, okay, enough with the boosting.
Yes. But so we've kind of went, backwards. We started the show. Now we've actually created social, platforms that are tying back to the brand of Dealcasters. And as much as I love YouTube is a long, hard road.
You said it, brother.
I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to talk dollars. I will just tell you that I know we're doing a lot better than a lot of these YouTubers that are struggling to get to the 1,000 and the 10,000. We did that almost right away, because once you get past that first 90 minutes of streaming and get approved for what they call insider level, you're going to make money on your live streams. But then there's some other pieces that people forget they have an advantage of. We all have a shop page. I know you have a shop page.
Yep.
And I heard it might have changed, but if you do 10 product videos on Amazon that they approve, and they may or may not show up on the product pages, you also get commission off of that. That's the making money while you sleep.
Wow.
Because if you've done a video, like as an example of your microphone, and somebody goes and watches your video, you're not even live, right? But it's on the product page, and they buy that microphone or they go buy a competitive microphone, you're going to get a commission.
I've seen that, actually. I've seen some of my colleagues on, Amazon on the product page. I'm like, I know that dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're saying that even if I didn't buy that specific product, which I know Amazon affiliate, the program kind of works this way, as long as they entered in through your portal, so to speak. Exactly. You're saying that even if they don't specifically buy that microphone, for example, but they go buy a one after watching that video, you're saying you still get a commission even if it's not that product. Is that correct?
Right. And it's just like with the show, for 24 hours, if they've clicked in through your show and clicked a product, it's like they've got the cookie. Now, as long as they don't go and watch somebody else's show or click someone else, you're going to have that, so that's why.
So you could have somebody, I apologize, Jim. Could have, this is so good. I'm so excited. Guys, if you have questions, leave them in the chat. This is amazing. Just to clarify, because I love this. I could go live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. I could add, because I know you use StreamYard, right? Jim, and sometimes Ecamm. I use Ecamm sometimes too. I use them all sometimes, but I mostly use StreamYard. You're saying that if, let's say we're interviewing each other right now, and I use an RTMP link to put it on Amazon Live, you're saying that, let's say somebody watches our interview show right now, and then we mention, let's say, we mention a Canon or a Sony product or whatever, and they're like, hey, that's something I need, or we mention a microphone or whatever, and they go and purchase that after watching our show. The cookie is enabled, and we get commission on that. Is that correct?
Yes. And here's the other thing.
That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. Even if you had the microphone and we never talked about it. Like I'm using a Samsung Q2U. Maybe we have it in the carousel, and that's what we do with our interviews. We don't want to turn it into a QVC. Like we might mention the book, but it's kind of like the products in the carousel are the thing you or I use to do what we do, right? Maybe I have my backdrop in there. Maybe it's my computer. And so it's more about you want to engage with the audience, but if it's an interview, we don't get hung up in like, oh, I got to talk about all the products in the carousel.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So
and
you could do both essentially. You could have a show where it's directly products, right?
yes.
And the mute factor probably makes more sense for that, right?
Mhm.
Whereas you could segment it off just like you do on any channel, right, Jim?
Yep.
We could do one aspect or one episode of products, and then one episode of interviews, and then
Right.
maybe even just one episode of, hey, here's some tips and strategies like you would do on YouTube to, get the most out of your equipment or get the most out of your. So you're saying it's not just a platform relegated for selling. It is a personal branding platform. Am I hearing you correct, Jim?
I think Chris and I believe it definitely is.
Wow.
And here's the other thing, right? I don't know how long it takes some of these folks, and I want to make this clear too. YouTube and Amazon are different in some aspects, and you can't
Yes.
necessarily just take that YouTube video mentality and think, oh, I'm just going to apply that to Amazon, or take my YouTube video, put it on Amazon, and I'm going to make money.
Right.
You got to think about, like you said, the mentality of these people are here to buy. They're already, right? The money is burning a hole in their proverbial pocket. I think that's the challenge with Facebook shopping and Instagram shopping is I don't necessarily go on those platforms to go buy stuff. But if I'm on Amazon, I'm thinking of buying something, right? Or I'm doing research, whatever. And so if I catch your attention, I've actually got a much higher probability of conversion of a sale than I probably do on any of these other platforms. And I think that's one of the powerful things. And going back to, because there's so few doing it. We have some friends that, like as an example, that are fitness people. They will do workouts on Amazon, right? They'll do, heck, some of them even do like insanity workouts, right? Using and they just have like, fitness mats and running shoes and barbells, but they're never talking about it. But people are clicking, people are watching.
Yeah.
And then you get, like, we've had companies approaching us, hey, would you talk about our product on Amazon? That wouldn't happen on YouTube because we don't have enough, we don't have enough subscribers,
Right,
we don't
right.
have the 14 million views like Craig does, but we're getting brands approaching us all the time. We've got a deal with name.com because one of the things we also learned from a branding perspective is, as you know, Amazon's URL is ugly for like a show. It's, hieroglyphics and everything else. So we use a redirect. We use dealcasters.live. And so if you go to dealcasters.live, it takes you to our most recent show. We
That's
did the
awesome.
same thing for our shop page, right? You go to dealcasters.shop, it gets you right to our shop. And I think even just as creators, make it easy for people to find you. And that's where we think the .live is, powerful. Like, I don't know, do you have Professor Nez .live yet?
You know what? It's so funny you say that, Jim. I paid for the domain professornez.com or professornez.live.
Right.
I haven't done anything with it yet. So I'm kind of a man of simplicity.
Right. Well, that's why we do the redirect.
I bought the domain, but like everything's kind of at my main hub, professornez.com.
Right.
And so even if you look at the ticket taper, professornez.com/videos, I've got the different tabs or whatever. But I probably should take advantage of that. And you've kind of inspired me to. And so I just because of my biggest thing is removing bottlenecks, right? And all the friction and just trying to simplify it. I do have everything at my main hub, but Jim, this is why you're here, and I'm so happy to hear this from you. And I can't wait to. We're going to have you and Chris on a dedicated show as well. We have to because it's just too much value. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be said for having that specific, not only niche, right? We talk about niching down, but maybe even going as far as the domain as well. so that you have that redirect and not that ugly URL. I totally get that. It really makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, if I may,
Sure.
Jim, now that I have you, and I want to be respectful of your time. Do you have a time constraint?
Oh
I
no,
don't-
it's Sunday afternoon. Wife's doing some work.
Just hanging out? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Kids are
It'll
grown up and not in the house.
Good. Oh, okay, great. Yeah, my wife and my kids are hanging out with my father-in-law right now, so they're not going to be home for a while. But yeah, just a couple more minutes if we can.
Sure.
I want to ask you this. So, what would you say to somebody? I know Craig had an answer for this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What would you say to somebody who is like, you know what, I want to leverage Amazon. I am really somebody who loves live streaming. I go live in all these different places. What would you say? Here are the first 5 things you need to consider if you're going to go live on Amazon. And it doesn't have to be 5. I'm just saying,
Right.
what are some of the first things? Because we're hearing a lot of people in the chat, their minds are being blown. And they're just like, I want to get started. I want to do this. What would you say from your perspective and your experience as a professional live streamer, content creator, and having a presence? What would you say are some things that our audience should consider?
Well, I think it goes back to a little bit like what Craig was talking about earlier. You want to have a good show, right? Make sure that you understand the tech, that you're going to be using RTMP. You got to have an iOS device. There's some people that are using their phone. It's like, don't do that, right? Get off the phone, get onto where you're streaming from a computer. Use StreamYard, OBS, whatever you're comfortable with. Obviously, you and I are StreamYard fans because it makes it easy. uh, you know, and then think about the products you're putting in the carousel. Make sure that they make sense to put there, and that you don't necessarily have to own the products, but be prepared that somebody may ask you questions about it. So don't just throw things up there that are the top seller because you think like, oh, that's going to get me more views, because there is a little bit to that. But we also look at it this way. Talk about things that you believe in. Your integrity is so important when it comes to this platform, and like right where you're being called an influencer, whether we like it or not. So don't hang yourself out to dry. Chris and I say no more than we say yes to some of these companies, because it's like never heard of them, or they're like wanting to have you buy the product, write a review, and send it back, and they'll reimburse you. Don't do that. That's against the terms of service. The other big thing is get that shop page set up, get those videos, those 10 videos done, unlock that other potential stream of commission, and promote it on the other platforms. Amazon wants you to repurpose your content because it's
Wow.
like a flywheel, right? They want you to
Right.
bring people back to
Right.
Amazon. So Chris and I
Plus,
do
it's
that.
fairly new, right? This hasn't been
Yes.
around that long.
I mean, like you said, if I ask people like, have you heard of Amazon Live? They're like, what? Never heard of it.
Right.
It is. It's so new. It's like, this is where I wish I had been on YouTube when it first started, right?
Right. Right.
I think this is the same thing. And Amazon is also looking at this. We're creating content for the platform. That's why they're doing this, right? Because now all these product videos, by getting better content creators like yourself to put stuff out there, now maybe people are spending more time on the platform, like, oh, I need to check out this video. And the video is a great educational tool. If I were to tell people like, oh, I'm going to tell you all about the Samsung Q2U and I'm demonstrating it, but also keep it short, right? 3 to 5 minutes. It doesn't need to be a half hour. Nobody's going to watch a half hour product video. That's where, by using the repurposing, right, you can go
Right.
have a YouTube channel and go in more detail.
Right.
Chris is absolutely right. And we've actually created a podcast too out of Dealcasters, where
Oh,
we've
that's
taken
awesome.
some of our interviews, we've made them, and they're on Amazon Music, and because of that, we're able to put the podcast in our carousel, right? So people can, subscribe through your show while it's live, but then you can also, right, repurpose wise. Now we're taking we create an idea list for each show. So
Oh,
every product we
great.
talked about. So then we'll put
Great.
that in the show notes
Yeah.
of the podcast. So if they click it, boom, now they're on my
Oh, that's
shop page.
awesome.
And
I have so I'm in the Amazon influencer program,
right.
and I have my own shop. in storefront that I've created, and I by the way, there's a link to that because people ask me all the time. They're like, what kind of gear do you use? What's your favorite on the go gear? What's your lighting, your camera, your audio? And I got everything here. I even have an idea list for the books that changed my life.
Exactly.
And so you can do so much with the Amazon Influencer Program. I got a video on my channel talking all about it. So you're saying that I could create, I love what you said, you create an idea list for every single episode of your show on Amazon Live?
Yes.
That's awesome. And then you link that, is that linked in the carousel when you go live?
No, we'll use that more for the podcast, or
for the podcast, right?
Or even if we were to say do a social post on LinkedIn or Facebook, like, hey, we interviewed Professor Nez, and here's a link to all the different products we talked about, and they click that link, and now they're on Amazon, and we've got their proverbial cookie, and we just want them to have some milk and buy something.
That's great. I love it. Yeah, absolutely, Chris. This is awesome. I mean, this is great information. I can't thank you enough, Jim, for being here. I really appreciate it. And like I said, we're going to have you and Chris come on and do a full dedicated show. We'll talk about live video. We'll talk about the creator economy. We'll talk about all these things. I just want to say, really quickly, Jim, and I'm going to give you the floor because I want you to tell people where to find you. But I just want to say, before we say goodbye, on behalf of the Nez Nation family, man, you are awesome. And this is I'm so glad you're here, by the way. Thanks. So happy you're here. So happy you caught the show because this has been a long time coming. We all kind of keep a sort of askew glance on everybody in the industry, right? And we're so busy with all these things, especially when you're our age, I mean, I'm almost 50. And so
you're still young.
Well, here's the cool thing. I feel like I'm in the prime. My wife thinks I'm mentally 6, and she might be right. But I've been sort of from afar checking out, hanging out with you guys, enjoying what you guys have been doing really for a long time. And I'm so happy you're finally here. It's been a long time coming. And so I just want to say I really appreciate you being here. Maybe you can answer this question really quickly, Jim, before you tell people where they can find you. Angie is in the house. Good to see you, Angie. Always great to see you. Amazon influencer won't. You know what? I had a couple people comment on my video about this too. Right. I've applied twice. I refer to Amazon all the time. Now, I have had a lot of people say, and I don't know why necessarily. I don't have like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I don't know why they accepted me a year ago, but I've heard a lot of people say that, they have not been able to get accepted into the Amazon Influencer Program. Jim, do you have any advice for Angie here at all on, I've had a lot of people ask me the same thing. I've applied a couple of times. I used my YouTube channel. I used my Facebook page. I used my podcast. It seems arbitrary, but maybe, Jim, do you have any clear-cut kind of way of getting approved?
Like I know, like I told you, when I got approved, I had about 9,000 Twitter followers at the time, and Twitter was one of those options. They've since in the last 2-3 months taken that away. Instagram seems to be, but I don't, it's like they don't tell us what the number is. So if you've only got a couple thousand followers on Instagram, it might need to be 4,000. If you're on YouTube, it might be 2,000 subscribers. Facebook,
which is so sad because subscribers don't mean anything.
Right.
I mean, they're not the metric for measuring value.
And then what's funny is, even though you've got these followers, subscribers, whatever you want to call them based on the platform, once you get on Amazon, like to move up to their quote unquote A list, you got to get followers on Amazon. It's like, well, what about all these followers I have outside of Amazon?
Oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
It just never ends, does it? There's that influencer.
Right.
So and you know what's funny too, Jim, is all the brands now are savvy. I mean, you can get brand deals now. They're not worried about how many subscribers you have. They're very specific. How many views? What's your community? Engagement? That's the real stuff that matters. It's not about vanity metrics. I love that.
Yeah, because on Amazon too, like I know I follow you on Amazon. I know you don't necessarily go live on there a lot, if at all, yet. But I don't always even get notified when somebody that I follow goes live. Like, we haven't figured out how that works. So it's kind of like to go out there and it's like, oh, I got to get more followers. We're getting enough views as it is that we don't really feel like Chris and I aren't worried about the vanity thing. Like, oh, I got to get to A-list, because we're seeing enough benefit without the A-list. And even asking these A-listers, which means they have 2,000 Amazon followers of, sold at least 5,000 in revenue in 30 days or 100 items, is it like, what's the benefit they're really seeing out of it? Like, are
Yeah.
they? We just haven't seen where that matters yet. Maybe someday, but as long as we keep having fun, that's like, it's one of those things.
That's
Eventually, it'll
what's
happen.
most important. So would you recommend Angie to, I mean, she said she's applied twice.
What platform, Angie, did you apply with?
I think she's using her YouTube channel because she just said my views are 1,000 to 2,000 a video, which is phenomenal. And here's the cool thing about Angie.
Subscribers. What's her subscribers?
I think her subscribers are under 5,000, I believe. I could be wrong. But here's the deal. She's doing everything right. She's got a super niche channel. And yeah, she said she used her YouTube channel.
Okay.
Would you recommend she apply with a different platform? She has 340 subscribers.
That's why they're not approving her.
That's so crazy to me.
Yeah. What does she have on Instagram? Is she big on Instagram, or is she focused on YouTube?
I think she's focused on YouTube because she's been in this community. She's been in our community for a while, and on Clubhouse, she's in all of our YouTube rooms, and she's dropping insane. She knows more about YouTube over the past 3-4 months than most people who had been on the platform for years, because she's so she says more on Facebook. Oh, interesting. Okay, so you have more subscribers on Facebook. Have you tried applying, Angie, using Facebook? Maybe that would be better, you think,
and
Jim?
make sure it's Facebook business, because I do know they don't care about your personal profile. Friends.
Right. Well, hey, Jim, I think that we need to do a whole dedicated another podcast interview with you. By the way, this does go on our Nez Nation Live podcast as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, Jim, I please reach out to me, and I would love to be a part of you and Chris's show. I would be honored to be on your guys' show, because I know it's just been a long time coming, and it's about time.
Yeah, we'll have a good session. We, like with you, we definitely could have, like, it could be a kind of a geek out talking about live streaming and tech stuff.
Yeah,
that'd be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, totally. I totally. So Chris says we've seen historically YouTubers with 2K, around 2K. Amazon will move the goalposts, and they want to see you go live fairly often before they approve. It's so sad. It's so sad because the subscribers means nothing. I mean, there's so many channels that, as a matter of fact, this is so funny. And thank you, Chris. I can't wait. This is so funny, Jim. I actually want you to hear this too, Jim, because I think a lot of people think of YouTube as this, well, it's all about subscribers. I was on a channel, last night that I was like, I see this person a lot on Clubhouse. I see them talking about, how they own all these things and they do all these things. And I decided to do some investigation. Obviously, I'm not going to throw them under the bus and mention who, but I went to their YouTube channel, and they actually had I think they had over 100,000 subscribers. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Wow, this should be a pretty big channel. So this individual knows what they're talking about. Then I looked at the videos. Then I looked closely at the engagement. And every single video that they uploaded recently in the past couple of months had less than 1,000 views. Some of them even had as low as 300, 400 views. Now, I would never, ever discount a view. A view is a view. If it's a quality view, fantastic. But if you've got over 100,000 subscribers, and I've got 12,000 subscribers, and I've got more views per video than you have what's called inactive subscribers. And now brands are savvy to this, because brands used to fall for, well, they have, 100,000 followers on Instagram, but wait a minute, they have zero engagement.
Right.
Because it's all about conversions with brands. Brands could care less if you're, this or that, or if you have this many followers or subscribers. They want sales. They want conversions. So how do they get sales and conversions? Is a very engaged, thriving audience, which is what Jim and Craig have been talking about, which is being authentic and really bringing value to the table, not worrying about who's there, who's not there, or how many followers, etc. It's about really providing value to the human being, the viewer. And so it's so, I was blown away when I discovered this. And so I'm so intrigued. I hope, Amazon decides, as Chris says, to move the goalposts, and maybe, change their parameters, because when I first applied, I think I had less than 6,000. And so this was a year ago. And so
Right.
maybe even less than that. Maybe I had 3,000. And so they accepted me right away. Maybe because I don't know. I have no idea. They looked at my podcast maybe. But yeah, Angie, and look at this, Lewis, who is an amazing content creator. He talks about a lot of great tech and especially when it comes to cameras and lenses. He should definitely be live on Amazon. And so Lewis, keep going and pay attention to Jim and Chris because I know for one thing I'm going to be following you on Amazon, Jim, because I want to see more of how you're leveraging this amazing platform. And before you go, Jim, tell our Nez Nation audience, I want to give you the floor. I want to give you the last say.
Thanks.
Tell people where they can find you, what you're doing, and what your latest project is. The floor is yours.
So thanks, Professor Nez. This has been awesome. Looking forward to having you on Dealcasters Live and possibly the Tim and Jim show as well. So we've got, you can find our Amazon shop at, just go to dealcasters.shop in your browser. It's a redirect to the Amazon shop, just makes it easy. Then if you want to see our latest live show, you just go to dealcasters.live. We're also on, Twitter. We're on Facebook. We have a LinkedIn company page. And then if you want to connect with me, you can find me at Fusion Marketing, which is FUHSION marketing.com. But I haven't done a lot with my website lately because I've been more focused on this whole Amazon thing. It's just so much fun.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, hey, Jim, I just want to say again, man, you absolutely rocked it. We're definitely going to have you and Chris on to go way. We're going to, I think what would be really cool is if we did a live streaming masterclass really focusing on Amazon, because I think there's so many people talking about, obviously, LinkedIn Live. I mean, I'm an early adopter of LinkedIn Live, YouTube, Periscope. I don't know. I'm live on Twitter. I thought Periscope. Hey, by the way, now that I have you here, Jim, before you go, what are your? Is Periscope dead or is it? I thought Periscope died, but I'm live on Twitter right now, and it says Periscope. So what's the deal? Are you guys live on Twitter?
We are, and I don't know. I'm like you. I'm not sure I understand. Every once in a while, like it'll die, and if I go log into Periscope, it'll reactivate to let me stream on StreamYard. But I guess at some point they're going to change it to where I guess it'll be Twitter Live. So yeah, we definitely still go live on there. It's the same thing. It's to build awareness. It's to get people to come on over to Amazon at because right, you hit on something earlier that I think is so true, Professor Nez. You never know who's watching, and I've gone live, sometimes for months, and I'll have someone out of the blue. This was more so when we were still seeing people in person,
Right?
But they're like, "I love your live show," and you're like,
Yeah.
"What?" It's like
we've never met, Jim. This is our first time meeting.
Right.
And I've watched you interview some of my best friends. I've watched you interview some of the leaders in our industry. And I'm like, dude, I love this guy's vibe. I love this guy's energy. It's all about showcasing your energy. So to your point, we've never met, but I know your show. I know the Jim and Tim show. I know you and Chris, what you guys are up to. I know how, our mutual friend Ross Brand, how we're connected in that circle. And so isn't that amazing? It's all from your live broadcasts.
It is. It's definitely amazing. And that's funny, and that's the other thing. Ross's YouTube video that he did over a year ago, probably about this time, is how I got live on Amazon because I went and watched his YouTube video. Right. Because he put it in the StreamYard community. It's like I went and checked it out. And of course, like we joked with Ross, we had him on a couple months ago when he did his monetize live streaming.
Right.
It's like, you got to update it now because now you can't use Twitter to go live. Or I should say to get approved for Amazon. But yeah, Ross is a great guy. So excited to be, as you are, a part of his book coming out this week. And so I was like, hey, Ross, let's have you on, and we'll have you come on as well. We'll make sure you get the link for that show on Wednesday. Hopefully you can make it. And it's just it's an exciting time to be a creator. It really is.
It's an amazing time to be a creator. And on that note, Jim, I can't think of a better way to end it. Really quickly, one last time, because I kind of interrupted you with a selfish question. Tell people where they can find you right now, Jim.
Yeah, well, LinkedIn, Jim Fuse is probably one of the best places to connect with me directly. And then, follow us on Amazon at dealcasters.shop and dealcasters.live, and look forward to connecting with the community and connecting more with you, Professor Nez. Thanks again for having me.
Oh, you rock, brother. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday, Jim, and I can't wait to connect with you. Keep an eye out for an email or a DM I'm going to send you, because I'm going to send you a link for you and Chris to get on the show. And so I'm so excited about that, and I look forward to connecting more. Guys, say goodbye to Jim and Chris, and give me a hashtag yeah if you got a lot of value from this. Jim, you are a true mensch, and thank you so much. We'll talk soon, okay, brother?
Sounds good. Thanks, Professor.
All right, man. Take care.
Have a good day.
Take care.
You too.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye. Wow. Was that amazing, or was that amazing? Guys, if you're just joining us, we've been talking about, and obviously this is going to have to entail more. We got to get Chris. We're going to get Chris and Jim on the show. There's another guy who I'm going to probably bring on who's huge in the tech space. I'm going to leave that as a secret. He's going to come on. This deserves almost a part 2, if you will. And that's why I kind of titled this The Secret Weapon in the Creator Economy, because like Jim and Craig were saying, nobody is really talking about this. This is another way for you to monetize. This is another way. You have to think of this as a business. Your content creation, your brand, your platform. There's so many different ways. There's so many different arteries. You are a media company. You are a conglomerate. You can sell services. You can sell products. You get royalty income. You can do one-on-one coaching, consulting. You can get affiliate revenue. It's just phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Oh, here comes our first. All right, where's Sweeney? This is the first sneeze. The first sneeze we've had in how long? How long has it been since we had a sneeze on Nez Nation? Thank you so much. Enrique, good to see you. Thank you, Jim, again. It's been an absolute pleasure, brother. And if we're not connected on LinkedIn, Jim, send me a connection notice, because I'm obviously I have a huge, thank you so much, Sam. I have a huge presence there as well. Yeah, man, there's so many ways to skin this cat, y'all. There's so many ways. Never mind Instagram shopping. Never mind Facebook shopping. Never mind YouTube. It's going to, I think, we've incorporated the merch shelf, all these things. But Chris, you like that? You see that? I don't want you to hear that. You don't have to hear that. Chris says amazing technique. I love it. That's just fantastic. I absolutely love it. Hey, guys, really quickly, too, by the way. Thank you, Chris. That's awesome. Really quickly, too, we've been talking about merch. The new merch shop is open, and we've got a ton of products in there. Cups, we've got buttons, hats, shirts, sweaters, hoodies, beanies. Go to professornez.com/merch, and we're going to be adding a lot more high quality stuff. So make sure you go check that out. If you want to check out my Amazon storefront, just so you get an idea, you may have been hearing things that Jim and Craig were talking about, creating your own Amazon shop, creating affiliate links. I get affiliate revenue every month from my Amazon shop. If you're interested in checking that out and what that looks like, there is a link in the description. There is a link in the description to all of the podcasting, live streaming, all the video content gear and stuff that I personally vouch for, and also all the stuff that I use. And so if you're interested in learning what is that all about, I believe the link, I know it's in the description. Maybe one of my mods, Jonathan or Lewis, can share that. I think it's just amazon.shop/Professor Nez, I think. Great to see you, John. Is that John the Bomb? Go for CEO. Great to see you. We are connected on LinkedIn. Okay, awesome. Jim, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. The streak dies. Has it really been 4 weeks? Has it really been 4 weeks, Lewis? Holy macadamia nut. 4 weeks of no sneezing on camera. It finally happened. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's kind of a running joke here on this show. It seems like every time I go live, I won't sneeze the entire day. I won't sneeze the entire morning. As a matter of fact, I won't sneeze all month. But then as soon as I go live, sneeze. I think maybe it's like some kind of nervous tick. I have no idea. Great. Okay, so we broke the streak. We'll have to start a new one. Hopefully we can start a new one. Yeah, I'm really glad you're here, John. Yes, thank you so much, man. It's awesome to see you, brother. Make sure, if you haven't already, you smash that smash button, we call it. Chris says, by the way, Amazon has merch that you can do as print on demand. Yes, so many ways. You guys, we're living in the greatest era of all time. Why? Because there's no excuses now. The glasses are coming off. It's rant time. We have some questions too. We do this every single week. It's our live Q&A. I'm going to get to your questions. And by the way, stick around because I'm going to talk about this. Here's another reason. Here's another reason why we're living in the greatest era right now to be alive, especially if you're a content creator, especially if you're a business owner. And you don't have to be a video content creator. You could be a blogger. You could be an audio expert. You could be a podcaster. You know, you could be utilizing what I think is probably one of the most powerful platforms, one of the most powerful platforms right now to build your brand and to connect with people using social audio, Clubhouse, Twitter Spaces. Is Green Room died yet? Can we officially say Green Room is dead? I mean, it was like popular for a second. Who's on Green Room? Let me know. I feel bad because I talked a lot about Green Room. I actually like the UI UX. But it seems like every time I go there, number one, my friends aren't there, you guys. And then number two, the rooms seem a little funky. I mean, they're just not my speed. When I say dead, I don't mean that the platform is gone. I just mean that is anybody using it anymore? Years of experience, Jurgen, Russian prototype. Years of experience with the mute button. Yeah. I love it. I love it. That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Brian. Yeah, I'm going to talk about this really quickly. I'm going to talk about this, so stick around. I'm going to screen share as well. I know some of you guys have heard it before. Anita, good to see you, Anita. I was on Anita's show not that long ago. Great to see you, Anita. Anita's in the house on Facebook. Now, this is something that's so interesting is that I wonder if Jim, did you get a notification that I went live? Anita, did you get a notification? Because we're seeing a lot more reach on our live streams lately on Facebook. And Seti, good to see you. I didn't see you, Seti. Great to see you. Seti has an amazing tech channel. Fantastic. Great to see you. Yes, Chris says he did. Okay, great. Jim says I have an account on Green Room, but would agree with you. Okay, thank you. Green Room is dead, says Anthony. Okay, fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, so John says, saw you live on YT. Yeah, I'm going to talk about this in a second. And Jim and Chris, you might want to stick around for this. This is the greatest time to be alive. This is the greatest time to be alive. Your only limit, y'all, is that dude inside your ears. That's your only limitation now. Your only limit now is your own imagination. There should be absolutely zero excuses for you waking up on Monday and absolutely feeling dread about where you have to go Monday through Friday. There should be zero excuses because there's so many ways to create ways in which you can get paid doing something you actually care about. I'm not going to say do what you love because that's been abused and it's very bumper stickery. What I always like to say is purpose. What gives you purpose? What were you meant to do on this thing called Earth? What were you meant to do? I believe with all the audacity, I believe I was meant to be on this thing called Earth to inspire others. I really do. For better or worse, right or wrong, I feel like I was meant to do this because I remember being a young man and feeling lost, disconnected, massive anxiety and depression as a young man. And it was the inspirers. It wasn't teachers. It wasn't professors. It wasn't politicians. It was the inspirers who dug me out of that dark chasm. And so that's why our mission statement here at Nez Nation is inspiring you to grow your impact and your income online. Impact is always first. You have to impact people if you want to grow. And there's so many ways to do it. There's so many ways to do it. Really? Is that true? Seti says, yeah, if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, just, send a connection notice, especially, and tell me how you found out. Say, from the live. I mean, John Anthony, obviously, I know you. But anybody else listening and watching, if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, just send me a connection notice. Seti, I didn't know that you didn't have memberships yet. Yeah, man, for your channel, it should be huge. You should really, really have a great way of leveraging that. Absolutely. Earth. What were you meant to do on this thing called Earth? That should be a shirt too, right, Sam? Sam, it's great to see you. How long till the glasses come off? They already came off, man. Are you kidding me? They already came off. Chris says, I'm so glad I found this show. Even though I've been familiar with The Good Professor, honestly, this is the first time. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that, Chris. And I reciprocate and return the compliment to you, brother. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. I'm Professor Nez on LinkedIn. What do you mean you couldn't find me on there? Just type Professor Nez in the LinkedIn search bar. You couldn't find me? That's impossible. I have a huge presence on LinkedIn. It's probably my most popular platform. Even though I love YouTube and I talk about YouTube all the time, you should be able to find me, Anthony. Okay, who's ready? Who's ready, guys? I keep talking about this is the greatest time to be alive. This is the greatest era. You can skin this cat so many different ways. There's 1,000,000,006 ways to monetize your expertise, to create a life where you get to dictate the terms. You get to dictate how your week pans out and unfolds. You get to create your own lifestyle. And it's not without a ton of work. I have to be very, very honest. I know, much like you guys, I care about my industry. I care a lot about the business community that I'm a part of. And it pains me to no end to see these advertisements on YouTube and everywhere else of these 17-year-olds standing in front of yachts holding coconuts. I call it coconut and yacht syndrome. There's no such thing as an easy ticket, y'all. One thing my dad was absolutely right about. One thing my father taught me when I was a kid that I'll never forget, okay? There was a lot of things I didn't pay attention to, but this was one thing that was absolutely capital T true. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is going to happen that's worth anything without a ton of hard work. But it's doable. It's so possible. I'm living proof. You don't need millions of subscribers. I'm living proof. You don't even need hundreds and thousands of subscribers. I'm living proof. You don't need to be this huge global, influencer. If you create value for a very specific audience and you do that consistently and you smother your audience with value, you're going to win. Period. You're going to win. John asks, what are you using right now to stream to multiple platforms right now? So if you want a code, I am using StreamYard. Now, I've been live streaming for a very, very long time. And, I'm an early adopter of Periscope, early adopter of LinkedIn Live, YouTube, Facebook Live, everything. I've been broadcasting for ages, John, and anybody else who's listening. And so I've used every platform you can imagine. I mean, I've used OBS, I've used FireTalk, I've used Switcher. I mean, any platform you can really imagine, Streamlabs, Restream. They all have their own kind of benefits, but in my opinion, this one's the best one because it's browser based, and if you're not a tech dude like I am, and you're a big fan of simplicity, nothing works better than this. And so, John, in the description of this video, you'll see a link. You can get a free trial. You'll see a link. It'll say, somebody, one of my mods, please, will you share my, and full disclosure, it is an affiliate link, but it doesn't mean you have to pay more or do anything else. It makes no difference if you get the link from me or you go straight to the website. As a matter of fact, you'd be helping me. But one of my mods, can you share my link if you don't mind? I would really appreciate it. For you, John, I would say this is a no-brainer. I would say this is a no-brainer for you. Yeah, absolutely, Seta. You could say that. Yes, I do a ton of video. I do a ton of video on LinkedIn. Now, you might be talking about Cover Story. I can talk about that later. But yes, John, absolutely. Yes, I have videos set. Sam, I have a ton of videos on my channel about that. Oh, thank you so much, Seti. I appreciate it. That's the link right there. So Seti just put the link up there. That is the link, okay? And I would love for you guys to use that link if you are considering live streaming and you want to consider using the software that I vouch for because I'm personally using it right now. And so you see how easy it is to bring guests on. You see how easy it is to do a ticket taper. You see how easy it is to do overlays. You see how easy it is to bring comments up. It's just easy. And I love easy. I don't know about you guys, but I love easy. Thank you so much, Seti, for sharing that link. I really appreciate it. Okay, who's ready to hear about the brand spanking new? Oh my God. If you like super chats, if you're a live streamer and you're a fan of super chats, you're going to love this. Give me a hashtag yeah in the chat if you're ready for this amazing, amazing brand spanking new feature that YouTube just added. Are you ready for me to talk about this? Give me a hashtag yeah. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button because it helps us in the algorithm. You don't have to subscribe. Just make sure you hit that like button. How many of you are ready? Yes, absolutely. I know Jim uses it. Jim and Chris are obviously very, very accomplished professional live streamers. And so Jim as well. Supports and utilizes StreamYard. So you're not just hearing it from me. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of hashtag yayas. Sam says hashtag me. Good to see you. Yes, Anita. Yes, Lewis. Yes, John. Okay, good. Jurgen says yeah. That's right. Okay. Enrique says don't understand anything. Don't worry. You're going to have fun anyway. Like my wife says, I don't understand you anyway, so don't worry about it. Okay. I'm going to screen share. If you are a fan of super chats where you can pay and support, if you're on YouTube right now, you'll see the little feature right there. It's a little monetization. Maybe you've gotten even a prompt from YouTube saying, hey, if you want to support this streamer, go ahead and leave your, my autofocus there is, okay, back. I'm back. If you're a fan of super chats, you're going to love this, okay? And again, if you don't know what super chats are a way to support live streamers by, you could buy a sticker for up to like, I think 99 cents to up to like 500, 1,000, I think. And your comment gets highlighted and you get featured in the live stream and you get attention from the live streamer. And you get a lot of stuff. Well, guess what, y'all? YouTube just added and by the way, it's rolling out very slowly. I don't have this yet. I know a couple people who have it. As a matter of fact, I posted this when it first was announced. I talked about this on Instagram. By the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Professor Nez. I'm pretty much Professor Nez everywhere. I also posted this on Twitter as well. Just go to your Instagram and search Professor Nez. Follow me because I do a lot with stories and post a lot of updates and news, stuff that you don't necessarily get on my other stuff as well. CK in the house. CK Construction Cronies in the house. Good to see you, CK. So make sure you follow me there. So if you're a fan of super chats, a way to support live streamers, you're going to love this. You're going to absolutely love this. So YouTube just announced that they're going to be rolling out a brand new feature called Super Thanks. Super Thanks. And this is a way for you, okay, to essentially, this is a way for you to basically support. It's kind of like super chats for, on-demand video that you create on your YouTube channel. So it used to be called applause. It used to be called viewer applause, okay? And now YouTube has incorporated this thing called super chats. And so what super chats is, let me actually show you, or what super thanks is let me actually show you this. Now, okay, if you want to support a creator, let's say you watch a video and it was super helpful to you, and you're like, wow, you know what? That video was super helpful. I really appreciate that video. Now you can support and show your appreciation by purchasing a super thank you. And you can see the example here. I'm on the YouTube blog, by the way, where your comment gets highlighted. You click on that little thanks button. Your comment gets highlighted, and it's a way to support creators. And now it's available. It's basically super chats for on-demand video. For creators, this is phenomenal. For viewers, this is your way of not only standing out in the comments because you get that color. Look at that color right there. When you click on that super thanks, you get that color next to your comment. You stand out in the comments, but also it just shows your appreciation for the video creator. And so essentially, like I said, this is super chats for on-demand video, your on-demand content on YouTube. This, to me, is phenomenal. I don't have this yet, by the way. And if you want to know how to check to see if you have this yet, if you go to YouTube Studio and you click on monetization and you click on the supers tab, you actually have to toggle it. If you do have super thanks enabled, it's called super thanks. It used to be called viewer applause. This is, yes, it is. Absolutely, Angie. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Jurgen. This is phenomenal news. You know, never mind the revenue share that you get from ad revenue, but actually getting, this just incentivizes creators. You know, I sent out a tweet recently about my disdain for Facebook because Facebook just flagged me with a monetization policy issue, claiming that my content on my Facebook channel was unoriginal, which it's all mine. I create all my own content. I upload all my own content. And it's notorious that Facebook doesn't pay creators what they don't have a lot of different monetization methodologies for creators. I mean, yeah, they have higher CPMs, but to reach that threshold is not easy. YouTube is killing it. YouTube is just killing it. TikTok is going to do the same thing. Instagram has to follow. Instagram, I mean, a lot of creators are leaving Instagram because of the lack of diversity for paying creators, the lack of paying creators, period. You know, I mean, the number one way creators get paid on Instagram is through brand deals. But why not integrate? Look at how beautiful this is. Look at how beautiful this is. Oh yeah, it was totally Jim. It was totally AI, you know, and I've had them review it and I've tried to appeal it, and their support is atrocious as well. And don't get me wrong, you know, I'm going to keep trying because I know my content is original on there. It's all my content. But and I think it wasn't that they were saying it was unoriginal. What they were saying is that I was repurposing, which I was repurposing content on my Facebook channel without altering it or without adding more. It's something BS. So it wasn't necessarily original. They didn't like the way that I was repurposing my content from my other platforms, which is absurd to me. But yeah, I mean, good point, Anthony. Facebook has major problems. Yeah, Angie. So this is correct. And by the way, I'll probably link, as a matter of fact, let me do this. I will link this I'll link this blog in the, I'll link this blog in the comments so you can kind of read more about it, because I don't, you know, obviously I don't work for YouTube, but there's the link right there. If you want to learn more about it, yeah, you do have to be in the partner program. That is correct. I think I can say that with certainty. But I mean, imagine the possibilities. You want to talk about incentivizing creators. This is how you incentivize creators. This is how you inspire creators to want to create the best quality content that they possibly can. This is actually another great way of avoiding bot channels and channels just meant to create, just chasing views and just chasing, you know, all the vanity metrics. because nobody's going to give you a super thanks if you don't have amazing content. I can't wait to enable this on my channel. I can't wait, because I truly know deep in my heart, because I felt this way. When I watch a video that truly has helped me, that has truly impacted my life, I'll drop them a 5 bomb. I'll drop them a 10 bomb. Hell, I'll even drop them a 50 bomb if I can. But a 2 bomb, a 3 bomb, a 5 bomb, that's very, very within. It's very feasible. And there's even one channel, I think, that said, ever since they enabled, I think there's one channel that even said ever since they enabled it, because again, it's rolling out slowly like everything that's in beta. It's in beta right now. It's rolling out slowly. Yeah, it was called Applause. You're right, Nano. It was called Applause a year ago. I think it was called Applause, and it was only rolling out to certain creators. Now it's rolling out to everybody, but it's obviously rolling out slowly. What was I going to say? Yeah, it's just phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. And about that creator. This creator now accounts ever since, and obviously this is a creator who's got a pretty large audience, but I can't remember. Maybe it's in the blog. I wonder if it's in the blog, if they talk about it. Let's see. I don't think they talk about the dude. But anyway, this one creator who actually enabled the super thanks, okay, who actually enabled the super thanks, now says that 15% of his revenue comes from his business on YouTube, comes from super thanks. 15%, that's huge. Can you imagine? That 15% was non-existent, a week or two ago. Now, ever since that creator turned it on, it's become 15% of their revenue. That's insane. That's insane. You do that, Enrique. Make sure you don't blow up the kitchen. So huge kudos and a huge thank you from me as a creator and a business owner to you, YouTube. Thank you for offering us this, and I can't wait to get this. I cannot wait. Jurgen, yeah, so I shared the link of the article. This is straight from the YouTube blog. I shared the link to the article. But yeah, you do have to be in the partner program. But think of the incentivization now. Not only does the ad revenue share on YouTube is the best, I think, for my money. Maybe the CPMs are not quite as high as other places, but the ad revenue model is perfect on YouTube. The recommendation system model on YouTube is perfect. The searchability factor on YouTube is perfect. Evergreen content. Super chats are awesome. The merch shelf is awesome. Memberships are awesome. But also now they're adding super thanks. So how many incentives do you need to get cooking with YouTube? Never mind the branding and positioning you can do on YouTube, which I've been able to accrue multiple clients, multiple 6-figure clients. This is just another one. Just add another feather to their notch. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Feather to their notch? Feather to their cap. So yeah, you do have to be in the partner program. Yes, that is correct. But man, is that phenomenal or is that phenomenal? Unbelievable. Okay. We've gone on for over an hour and a half. I just want to say really quickly, I'm going to get to your questions next week. If you do have more questions, okay? If you do have more questions, please feel free to leave them in the questionnaire form that's pinned. I will get to your questions first come, first serve next week. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit all your notifications if you're interested in growing your impact and income online. I would love it if you become a Professor Nez Insider. This is the #1 newsletter about the creator economy. All this information, all these tips, all these videos, gently and beautifully mailed right to your inbox. And I respect the inbox. I don't bombard you. Become a Nez Nation Insider right now. Go to professornez.com/insider. I would really, really appreciate it. And if you want to support us even more and you want some awesome merchandise, Nez Nation merch, we got hoodies, hats, cups. We got so much great stuff. Go to professornez.com/merch. And we would love it if you would support us. It would mean the absolute world to us. And so, wow, guys, what a great stream. I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been here. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Ahmad. Thank you, Angie. Thank you, Nano. Thank you, Enrique. I think you're a newbie here. Great to see you. Thank you, Jurgen. I want to say thank you to Jim, who was on the show earlier. Thanks to Chris. Thank you, Seti. I want to say thank you to Brian, CK in the house. Thank you, Lewis, all the mods. Thank you, Jonathan. Really, really appreciate you guys. There's so many people. There's too many people to thank, but I just want to say thank you all. Thank you to Craig, who was earlier, Craig Polson from Craig Tech Talks. Thank you so much for being on the show. And on behalf of the Nez Nation family, I am your personal branding coach, content creator, business owner, author, speaker, live streamer, podcaster, saying I love you guys. And I can't wait to see you guys next week. See you guys hopefully sooner than that, maybe on Clubhouse. Hopefully see you in the next video. I've got videos coming out this week. I love you guys. Make sure you click subscribe, hit that like button. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to get to all your stuff, all your questions next week. If you're watching this in the replay, the questionnaire form is in the description of this video, in the show notes on the podcast, as well as the pinned comment. I love you guys. Have a fantastic week. Big takeaways, Amazon Live Video, the creator economy. This is your time. Don't wait. Don't sit on the sidelines. Go after it. Start creating. Start putting yourself out there. Start failing. Failure leads to success. We all started out fumbling, mumbling, and awkward. This is the time. This is your time. Please take this and heed this. I'm begging you, please take this and heed this. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys. This is your time. Let's get cooking in the creator economy. I know I'm going to bring it every single week, and I want you guys to bring it as well. Love you guys. Have a fantastic week. Have a wonderful Sunday, and I'll see you guys real soon. Love you all.